Alright guys, J.S. Evans here, so an update on Logan Paul's crypto zoo. what a mess. So Twitter is the unofficial social media platform for NFTs. If you're having an NFT project, it's gonna be on Twitter. That's where you do all your promotions and your Twitter page. Everything happens through Twitter. It's just a plain fact of it. Instagram a little bit, but mostly Twitter. After looking at Crypto Zoo, I followed them a long time ago. I didn't realize I was following them. When I just looked at it, somebody posted an update. I imagine he's not running the Twitter page, but one of his people probably are. They posted an update on the 11th saying, hold on to your eggs. There's going to be a buyback program. And don't sell your eggs because we're buying them back. We're going to get them back from you. Everybody's going to get made whole. Blah, 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 right? About a 3-point plan and all that bullshit, which everybody knows it's a big fat crock. Before that post on the 11th, the next post after that, previous post before that one, was made on May 22nd. So you're talking like 7 months of nothing. So pretty much everybody's given up on this project. Anybody that had any money involved in it, any stake in it, 7 months without a Twitter post, then you know you pretty much been rugged. And I explained in previous videos what a rug pull is. It's when a project's set up and then it's abandoned and they just take off with all the money and you're screwed, right? NFT drops, it's abandoned, prices tank, and you're left with a worthless NFT. Or you try to sell it and you maybe will get what you can out of it. So after the 22nd of May was his next previous post. Okay, so between that 7 months, he still never. Now he gets on there 11 and says, "Hold on to your eggs. We got a buyback plan. It's getting ready to start." Who do you think held on to their eggs since then? Honestly, I know I wouldn't. I used to be heavily into the NFT community, and I used to collect and buy them. And just. It was something that when it was new, it interested me a couple of years ago, and I got into it really. I did it fairly a lot. I never really made money. You see people making all this money, but you don't really make any money. The people that start the collections, like Logan Paul, made money. His buddies with the Zoo tokens have made money. If you're a collection, if you're a designer that starts your own collection, you make money. But the average person doesn't really make any money. There's a couple occasions where people that bought Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, you wound up making a whole bunch of money, and people that bought crypto punks, they were free, and then they wound up going through the roof. But they were free before anybody really knew what NFT was. So if you wound up having one, you made out. Those few people, those few instances, those couple, that made money. But now you don't really make any money. You can buy and flip. People make a little bit of money doing that, but not enough to make a living off of, and it's too much of a risk. They're too high risk. They're popularity based. They're not really worth it. It's way more smarter ways to invest your money. I dabbled with it, and I was actually heavily into it for a while, and I got out of it because I really wasn't making anything. There was a few times where I actually made money, maybe once or twice where I actually made pretty good money. Most time though, I either break even or lose money, and that's why I got out of it, because after a while, I started realizing, this is a pattern. It's just a, it's popularity based, and it's just, how can you gauge what popularity is? Everybody's hyped up about it. Yeah, you can have a project that'll come out massive hype, but 2 weeks later, nobody's talking about it, and the price tanks. That's, how can you predict that? It's just buy and flip as fast as you can for a little bit more what you paid for it. If you hold on to it, it might go up, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to go down, and you're going to lose money, or just maybe if you're lucky, break even. So anybody that did hold on to their zoo egg, or if they were able to hatch, I don't think they even were able to hatch. I know the game never was delivered, so they couldn't play the game. They couldn't earn anything, couldn't do anything. It's at this point, 7 months without a Twitter post. Nobody's going to still have their egg. So of course he's going to put aside 1,000 ETH 1.3 or 1.4 million dollars, what it is now. Whatever the price of ETH is, I think ETH at now is at 1,400 or $1,500. So it would now be 1.5 million dollars is what 1,000 would be. Because ETH goes up and down all the time. It was back when he first dropped in 2021 was when NFTs were at their height. I mean, their absolute height of popularity. Ethereum was at its height of popularity. It rose to like $4,000 a token, and I think when his actually dropped, Ethereum was at like $3,900, so $4,000, which make they sold them at 0.10, which make you buying an egg for 0.10 then would have been $390 or $400. Now he's going to buy them back for 0.10. It's going to be about 150, 160 bucks now at the most, right? And they got all these crazy fees you pay. It's called gas, and it's what the network charges you for selling, buying anything you do on Ethereum. It's gas fees, and that's also gauged by how busy the network is. I've seen gas fees as much as $100, $200, $300 just to buy something or sell something or post something for sale. You got to pay these gas fees, which are outrageous. It's a. I mean, it was really popular and everybody was into it, but it's not a smart investment. It's not. I mean, I definitely wouldn't recommend anybody getting into investing in it because it's how can you predict popularity, okay? And then if the profit you do make, the fees drive you into oblivion. I mean, they just pretty much diminish all the profits you made. That's why you see now the NFT market is tanking, and rightfully so because it was when crypto was all hyped up and NFTs were coming out back 2 years ago. It was all the rage, but people started realizing that they were losing money almost every time. And it's an unregulated market, so there's been so many ripoffs. It's not even I can't even explain how many ripoffs there's been. There'll be a new, literally like 10. Used to be. Okay, 2 years ago when he dropped that one, you might have 5 or 6 new collections a week drop that would come out, right? So people would sell out pretty fast because everybody wanted to get on the new big thing. Now you have 5 or 10 a day between Solana and Ethereum, the two main NFT networks. Between them two, you have 9 or 10 a day, literally a day. So the market is completely flooded with trash. Most of them are rug pulls, which means you buy this NFT, join the Discord. Every NFT network has a Discord where everybody can talk about all the money they're going to make, and we're going to go to the moon, and all these stupid phrases they use. It's just it never happens. I mean, what happens is the creator winds up rolling out, taking his money. Because I mean, if he does well, most times it sells out. The collections are usually 10,000. They get smart later because they've been able to sell as many, but the collections are usually made of 10,000. They'll make a couple $1 million if they sell out, and then they just roll out. They'll stick around for a month or two. When popularity starts diminishing, they'll sell whatever they got left, and they made a couple million, and they're happy with that. And you're stuck with shit. So yeah, it's dog shit. I wouldn't recommend it to somebody I didn't even like. I mean, because I wouldn't want anybody to willingly lose money. That's why I'm telling you guys about it. I'm telling you all about it because I've done this. I've been doing it I did it for almost 2 years and lost money more than I made it. And I can say overall, I've lost more money than I ever more money than I ever made altogether. I took a pretty good loss if you add it all up. And I just kept doing it, thinking I was going to buy into that one project that was going to go to the moon, like they say. And none of them go to the moon. That moon time is coming on. So you're not going to ever be able to buy into a project now for $150, $200, and it's going to be worth $10,000 in a week or whatever. It just doesn't happen like that now. Anybody that has one that comes out now, and it's got a really big hype and a really big name like Gary V. Like his little stick drawings he drew, and they're worth, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000 a piece, just because his name's attached to it. That doesn't happen anymore. I mean, like, if it does, it doesn't last. I mean, nobody wants, it's just people are starting to get hip to it because so many projects now that come out NFT projects, or if they want to call it a game, like Logan Paul did, it's a game. It's an NFT project, or they might call it. You might hear the word ecosystem. It's a project. That's all it is. If it's a game, it's a shitty Atari-looking game. Looks like something I played from the early mid '80s. That's how shitty the game is. The Web3, the gaming is just awful. You hear about all this Web3 stuff, but it's unregulated. People can do whatever they want. They can dump whatever they want. They can rug pull, and most times when they rug pull, they just shut all their social media accounts down and roll out. You don't ever hear from them again. Now you hear this term doxed. Doxed is, they say, soft doxed and full doxed. Doxed is when the creators tell you who they are, which is what you want. You want to know who you're dealing with, right? You want to know who is this behind this project? What have they done before? Why should I buy their NFT? And see soft doxed. I mean, soft doxed is a bunch of shit. It's a slick way of saying that we're going to give you some bullshit accounts that we can close anytime we want and kind of tell you who we are, but you're not going to really exactly who we are. But we'll give you the names of our temporary accounts we just created for this project. So a soft dox is bullshit. Now, if you're going to buy an NFT, you want to know who you're dealing with. You want to know who did it, if the guy's ripped people off before, if he's been successful, if he's failed every time. I mean, you want to know that. So if they're not going to dox themselves, why would you buy into it then? I mean, that right there tells you they're hiding something. Why would they hide something unless they plan on ripping everybody off? If it's not successful, or if it is successful, they still just plan on ripping everybody off and take all with the money anyway. Because they don't feel like dealing with it. Which usually what happens. Like I said before, this one here, CryptoZoo, was a scam to begin with. They went 18, 19, 20 months without saying a single word, not doing a single thing. Now his ass is in the hot seat because of CoffeeZilla. Now he's doing something about it. But it was a rug pull. I mean, pretty much was a rug pull. And that's what it is. If it wasn't for CoffeeZilla and Logan Paul having a team of lawyers saying, hey, you better deliver this product, you better give your money back, or you're going to be charged. And by him even offering to pay money back and giving money back, he's pretty much accepting guilt. Which he should be, because he did it. I mean, he ripped people off. So, if you're gonna, the most famous one I can think of is Squid Game NFT. That movie Squid Game that came on Netflix during the pandemic, it was some Japanese voiced over movie, but it wound up doing really well on Netflix. And it was one of their top 10 movies for the longest time, because everybody don't watch TV. If everybody now, nobody watches the dumb thing. I mean, who wants a voiced over movie that you can barely understand what they're saying anyway? But they sold out. They sold out. They came out they came out with an NFT collection. It was all those little men or women, wherever they were, with the X's and O's, triangles and squares on their head, a black mask on, and they came out with 10,000 NFTs, and you can all have all different traits. Like some had a patch in their eyes, some had a laser guns in their hands, or a knife in their hand, or some random dumb shit. And you got your NFT. The guy sold. Nobody still knows who it is, but they all sold out in a matter of a day. The person that did it made, I think, $2.3 million off the sale, like Logan Paul. The NFTs alone, not the Zoo token, but the NFTs alone made $2.5 million, okay? So that means just NFTs, just those eggs, a picture of the egg that never even hatched, made $2.5 million. So that makes me just think, what the fuck? This idiot. I mean, he puts his name on it and rips everybody off. I mean, everybody knows who he is. I mean, why trash your reputation for $2.5 million when you're making that a month? I mean, how stupid can you be? And you get into business with this guy, Crypto King, who's a straight up scamster. I met the guy on Twitter before, and a couple DMs with him, where he's trying to scam me and his bullshit rug project he's been behind. Anyway, the Squid Game NFT came out. They all sold out. The guy made over $2 million. A week later, closed all his social media accounts out and rolled out. So, and went moved to the Philippines. Some crap. He's got some indictments. Three main people have indictments here in the U.S. I'm never going to leave the Philippines. I ain't got to worry about it. In the Philippines, $2.3 million in the Philippines is a lot of money. I mean, you could live the rest of your life on $2.3 million in the Philippines and be a wealthy guy. So he got nothing to worry about. That's why you don't get involved. Just you're better off not messing with it at all. Logan Paul's going to offer 0.10 ETH to the few people that might still have theirs on the off chance they got the wallet and just kept it in there because nobody would buy it. They're just stuck with it. But most of them, nobody's really going to have them back. I'd be surprised if he even spends half that buying them back because nobody's going to have it anymore. And if they do have it back, then it's going to be a very, very small amount of people. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. 6-7 months on his Twitter page, which is the official NFT page. Twitter is without a doubt the official page for NFTs. Their Twitter page hadn't put up a post in 7 months. So that just tells you right there that it was, it was a complete rug pull scam, pump and dump, whatever you want to call. In the NFT world, they're called rug pulls. That's what it was. Period. Until CoffeeZilla came up with a special. It was amazing special CoffeeZilla did, by the way. And he knew his ass was grass unless he did something. If CoffeeZilla came up with a special, nothing had been done, and it's still been sitting there. He'd have still been ignoring it, letting everybody get screwed, and he'd have been sitting back with the money, not even giving a shit. Moving on to the next NFT ripoff project he's been doing. So, bottom line is, guys, stay with NFTs. Stay away from Logan Paul. He's shown his true colors. He's a scammer. He's a bullshitter. And it's about the money. It ain't about the fans. If it was about the fans, he'd have done something before he got called out and knew his ass was going to be arrested. If he really cared about his fans, he'd done something before. It was to the point where, damn, CoffeeZilla called me out. I could really get charged here. Wire fraud, bank fraud, scam, whatever they call it. There's a bunch of different charges he could have faced. And he really cared about his Pride NFT project and his fans. He'd have done something 3 months down the road, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year. But no, almost 2 years go by. Then he finally says something when he gets called out. All the evidence thrown out there. CoffeeZilla, did his homework. It took him a year to produce that and put it out. And he did a fabulous job. And it did such a good job that he made Logan Paul issue refunds. Because Logan Paul was about to be up Schitt's Creek with no paddle and no way to move because he'd have been getting charged. If they really wanted to, he's big name. That prosecutors make their career on prosecuting a big name like him. So even with his payback, it's a joke. It ain't doing enough. He needs to go further and not only compensate them, but compensate them for what ETH was then, and something extra for buying your dog shit, having to sit on it for 2 years. Not just you pay them what they spent, equivalent to what it was when they first came out, and their fees and something else, a little something extra for you ripping them off and screwing them for 2 years. That's my message to you guys. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer my NFTs about Crypto Zoo. I know all about it. I know about that shyster Crypto King. If you have any questions, ask. Hey guys, like and subscribe. Whatever you want me to talk about, we can discuss. I can discuss NFTs, crypto. I've been messing with the crypto NFT world. I've been heavily involved in the crypto NFT world for about 2 years now. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Until next time, it's your boy J.S. Evans. I'll see you then.